Hi, I'm Steve Miller and welcome to this latest video of how I use DxO Photolab to edit my images. This time I thought I'd do a landscape shot. I've done quite a bit of wildlife stuff, so I thought I'd just do a landscape shot and just see how I can use it to use Photolab9 for editing in landscapes. This is the shot I'm going to use. It's on Torva in Cumbria, England, up near Coniston. It's Coniston Old Man, and it was nice early morning. I think it was January, and a really early morning. Was it? Yeah, 20 to 9 in the morning, so the sun was probably just rising on the 18th of January then. So nice warm light on this image. Yeah, so let's get into it. I've got my usual import preset things. There's a few little things on smart lighting and stuff, but I'll go through that, you know, individually how I'd actually do this image. I'll do it a bit slower than I normally would, but for this, for landscape images, I would quite often use Filmpack, like different rendering. I won't use it on wildlife and my sport or anything, but for the landscapes, sometimes I quite like using these rendering, and one I do like quite often, it's not that one. There's different ways of actually putting these on. You can actually just use a preset. If you've got Filmpack installed, you can go over your preset and it'll show you what presets, you know, for all the different films, and it's quite good. You can sort of have a look there and see what you think you might like. Another way is I just do it over here, under the colour and black and white rendering. I'll just go choose the colour negative film and then go down, and I think this one, yeah, I quite like the look of Kodak Portrait 100. So as you can see, this image, the sky, I've exposed for the sky really, just so I don't burn out the sky. I've underexposed it, so the foreground is a little bit underexposed, but so just so they didn't burn the sky out. If I just go and drop the highlights, you can see there's plenty of to work with in the highlights there. So I'll just do it separately. So at the moment I'm just looking at the foreground really, just to try and get the foreground right. As I said, it was underexposed slightly, so I will just up the exposure a little bit and just see how that. Yeah, see, that's quite nice now. Just bringing that up. I could try using the shadows and highlights, but it'll probably flatten the image too much. But I've got a little bit of smart lighting already turned on, so I'll just see if I just up that and see. It's a bit like automatic HDR sort of slider, the smart lighting. See, that's too much. If you go all the way, it's really lifted the shadows and dulled down the sky, and it's just flattened the image completely. But if you just use, I usually have it set to 20, but then you can just up a little bit more. I don't think that's too bad there. If we go up to 30, 31 on that. A clear view plus, I don't think I need clear view plus, because that's like a bit of a dehaze slider, and I think it'd darken the shadows in the foreground too much, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Selective tones, same again. I don't really think I need to touch that. Maybe just up the shadows slightly, not a lot. All very subtle changes. You don't go mad with these sliders. Looking at the histogram, we're not looking too bad. The colour, I quite like the colour. The white balance is quite nice. Maybe a little bit magenta, so I might just knock that down a couple of notches. That's looking good. Now we'll have a look at the sky. The new Filmpack 9, it's got the AI masks. I mean, I could probably do just as well with the using a control line and dragging a control line down to pick the sky, but we'll just see if it works. The new sky mask. It might struggle. Yeah, it's going to struggle. It just shows you that it's going to struggle around this tree, but we can soon add. What you have to realise, you can add to these masks. So I can just use control points and say, right, just add to that mask, that area. It might have picked some of this up, but I'm not too bothered because it's the highlights I'm going to be working on mainly, so I'm not too bothered about that. So let's have a look. If I just drop down, I'll just knock that mask off. Oh, I'll just have to just knock the exposure down slightly. Right, before when I knocked the highlights down, it really brought the sky in, and you can just see the detail coming in the clouds now, which is nice. I've just maybe done a bit too much on the dark areas, so I'll just up the mid-tones just so I don't go too false, and then maybe I usually find clear view plus can be quite good with the clouds. I just knock them highlights down a bit more. Let's have a look. See, that's looking quite nice. Still got a bright spot up there. Might have just gone a little bit too far on that mask. So I will just knock. Don't want to go too far. Just don't like this bright spot up here, so I might actually do another mask and just use a control point for that bit of the sky. Highlights, that's looking better. Same again. I'm just gonna go in. It's just doing a little bit too much on this cloud there. I didn't like that. So yeah, that's better. Now looking at this, maybe the stream, it'd look nice if we could just sort of bring that stream up a little bit. So let's see how our AI masks can do on the stream. I'm going to try using the area. If I just drag a mask over that, let's see what it does. Yeah, that's not too bad. Nice soft mask. I'll just up the exposure on that slightly. Yeah, that's looking good. Just a little bit, I don't know whether these areas, I'll just turn on the highlight warnings. Right, so we have got some little bit of burnout. So let's have a look on the sky mask. Don't know what it's done there, so it picked the wrong mask. Let's drop the highlights down slightly. There we go. Just a little bit that this little bits of this water that I don't like the look of. It's a bit too bright, a bit distracting. So I'm just going to go in the old-fashioned control points again and just use the. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I should have added a instead of. I need to create a new mask using control points. I'm just going to knock the highlights down on that and the exposure slightly. They were just a little bit too bright. So yeah, that's that would do for me. And maybe these areas here, that's just a little bit too bright. Maybe. Same again. I'm going to use the old-fashioned control points again. And for that, just knock the mid-tones down slightly. So there we have it. I think that'd be it. I mean, I'd take a bit more time and I'd be naming my masks and things, but it'd get a bit boring me typing all the names of masks when you're watching. But so this is like a, so I'd say, so that's before and after. So you can just see, it didn't take me too long to do that, and quite a good result there. The usual, I'd go away and I'd leave it for a couple of days and come back and have another look, and I'd notice things. I always do. I always, you know, the second edit, you always notice a few things. So I hope that helps. I've just thought I'd do a landscape photo just for a change. I know there's a lot of landscape photographers out there, so might be thinking of, you know, would I better use Photolab9 for my landscape images, and definitely there's no reason not to. It's a really good package, for all-around package really. So right, thanks a lot for watching. Bye.